Hello, third graders. This week we are going to be reading an historical nonfiction story called 21 Elephants and Still Standing. This is a true story about the Brooklyn Bridge that connects Brooklyn and New York City and how one man tested out the strength of the bridge by doing the unthinkable. If you guys have ever seen The Greatest Showman, you might recognize a name in this story. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a level 4.3. It's a little bit harder, but if you'd like to take an AR test on it, I would suggest watching the video at least 3 times to understand the story. There's quite the vocabulary in here, so I'll talk about those words as we go on as well. So there's that bridge right there. It is so big. I've never had the chance to see it in real life, but if you've ever been to New York City, let me know if you've ever seen this bridge. Here we go. And I'll come back to the pictures as well so you can really see in the artwork, and this is amazing. For 14 years, they'd watched it rise. The cities, school teachers, bankers, cabinet makers, pointing and gawking, oohing and awing, cheering as the great pillars grew. Then came woven steel cables, strung graceful and strong, like stairways straight to the stars. So here are these steel cables right there. You can even see people working all the way up there. Can you see their shadows? Oh my gosh, would you ever do a job like that where you're that high above ground? I would be so scared. So here they are, oohing, awing, gawking means they're looking and maybe pointing as well. A lot of people were watching this bridge under construction. Not quite done yet on this page. Taller and longer, bigger and broader, a bridge of infinite dreams. Infinite means it goes on forever. New York and Brooklyn, dwarfed by its arches, knew the future had entered their sights. Let's look at this word right here, dwarfed. Meaning that the bridge is so big, it makes the city look really small. Amazing, worth the waiting, it was simply breathtaking, the 8th wonder of the world. Some wondered how long it would stand. When the day finally came and the Brooklyn Bridge opened, the landmark was given its due. Flags waved, bands played, kids hurrayed before bigwigs in top hats galore. At night, there were fireworks, skyrockets of light that rained for an hour from the top of the towers to the roar of the crowds down below. Packed on sailboats and steamers, amidst bright-colored streamers, people partied until the sun rose. So they partied all night into the morning celebrating this bridge. I love this picture right here. How cool is that? Can you imagine staying up all night to celebrate that? I think back in history, that would have been amazing. There it is, all done. Even so big that these boats could go underneath. So I know some of you might know what a lift bridge is, where the bridge lifts up, and that's because the bridge is too close to the water to let these boats through. But this bridge is so high, it's a suspension bridge. You can see because of the cables that the boats are able to go underneath. So this is a giant bridge. For the two sister cities, there was special excitement. They were linked by a magnificent bond. Now over the river, not on its swift current, they could visit, do business, see sights. Sweethearts could take moonlit strolls. The bridge was exquisite, a true work of art, the greatest feat of its day. But so long and so lofty, its cables so new, someone had to ask, is it safe? How long would this bridge last for? Is it safe for cars and people? How many can be on it? To these doubt-ridden few, friends sang the thing's virtues. The arches, the trusswork, the view. Still. So a lot of people believe that the bridge was safe, but there's always some that doubt it too. I love this perspective. how these guys are down below, and you can just see almost as if you're looking up at the bridge too. The artwork is so beautiful. There you can even see, look at those ships, look at the height of the bridge, and now you can really see that as well. Some could not be persuaded. Ooh, persuade means to think the way you're thinking, so some did not believe it was safe. Similar bridges have fallen. Who wants to bargain this bridge won't dance in the wind? So because this bridge is so tall, you can see that big pillar right there, a lot of times what happens when a structure is so tall, when the wind blows, it tends to sway. If anyone's ever been to Chicago, Chicago's called the Windy City. If you've ever gone in like the Sears Tower or any of those big towers, they tend to sway a little bit, and it can be kind of scary at first, but the building is actually supposed to do that. It's what keeps it safe. But a lot of times they build these bridges so tall and not understand the framework of them that the wind, it could actually tip it over. But do you think that would be the case for the Brooklyn Bridge? One man who heard this, Phineas T. Barnum, or P.T. Barnum, saw in doubt an opportunity. For Phineas T. Barnum always looked on the bright side. Phineas T. Barnum was larger than life, the world-famous showman's most awesome creation, the greatest show on earth. Yet Barnum's ideas weren't contained by a tent. I will stage an event that will calm every fear, erase every worry about that remarkable bridge. My display will amuse, inform, and astound, or else my name isn't Barnum. So he was always known for putting on these exquisite, amazing shows. Again, Greatest Showman, if you've ever seen it. If you haven't, I highly suggest it. There he is right there. You can laugh on the next page because the artist kind of made his head very big, as you can see. But here he is. He's going to go into town now. He has an idea. So one evening in May 1884, the circus headed for Brooklyn. It traveled by water, except for old Barnum's most massive, most gallant attractions. Most big, most exquisite attractions. I wonder what that would be. Up Broadway, they sauntered. Kind of like a fancy way for a walk. Can you guess what it is? Oh, you're right, it's an elephant. Trainers and charges, enchanting more than a few, onlookers went wild and filed behind, beguiled by the pachyderm procession. Ooh, that's a big word right there. Pachyderm is another word for elephant. For the public prized elephants, especially Jumbo, pride of the circus's rings, with his height of 12 feet, the good-natured beast was America's oversized darling. He was actually a sweetheart. But that was Jumbo. Jumbo was a real elephant. Miss Sailor's is 6 feet tall, so take Miss Sailor's height times that by 2. 6 times 2 is 12. That, my friends, is a very, very big elephant. On the group marched past City Hall, past mothers, fathers, and children, then the bridges straight ahead, the spectacle mounting with the giant's first steps on the roadway. Can you imagine just standing out there and seeing this big procession or parade of elephants coming through? And look, they even got the band out too. One after another, the elephants pressed onward, silently trusting the wood planks and steel. 5, 6, then 7 were crossing. 10, 11, and still there were more. Some onlookers oogled, some giggled with glee. Some questioned companions or strangers. How many pounds can the wondrous bridge hold? How many elephants are too great a load? Swaying and rumbling, still they were coming, the parade of elephant bulk. There they are, right up there. Again, this perspective, it's almost like you're looking up and seeing that parade of elephants going across this Brooklyn Bridge. Wow, that picture is so beautiful. Here they come. There's Jumbo right there. Jumbo's the last one. At the end of the line came Jumbo himself. For 21 elephants in all, the 7-ton star seemed to waggle his ears in reply to admirers' cheers. So just like a dog would wag its tail when it's happy, an elephant wags its ears. He's excited because everyone's cheering for him right now. Now an elephant weighs about 10,000 pounds. Jumbo weighs 7 tons. That's a lot of weight that's coming on this bridge. Let's hope it stays, right? And though the bridge stretched a mile in just a short while, and much to the people's delight, the elephants had crossed, with the bridge still aloft. Barnum pronounced the thing sound. Aloft means it's still there. Sound, thinking like safe and sound, meaning that it's safe. So if he pronounces the bridge sound, that means that the bridge is safe. Can you imagine being in this crowd right now and just seeing this? Keep in mind, you guys, I'm going to keep reminding you, this was a real event, a real thing that happened. How cool would it be to step back in history and see this? Oh, I wish I had a time machine. In the following days, some doubters strolled the greatest bridge on earth. What else did they do once they'd savored the view? The doubters were the ones that didn't believe it at first. Here they are. Now they know it's safe. What else did they do once they saw the view? Why, they went to the big top, of course. Can you guys see P.T. Barnum's circus in this picture? See if you can find it. Big top. If you guessed right there, you're absolutely right. There's the Big Top Circus. You can even see the flags waving right there with the Brooklyn Bridge in the background. The end. I want to share with you just a quick fact on here. I know some of you were probably worried about the elephants. And one thing on here, why did they use elephants? I was wondering that too. And where is it? Aha. I discovered that elephants had been used to demonstrate the strength of bridges, not only because the animal's great weight, each weighs about 10,000 pounds, but also because they're known to test surfaces with their trunks or front feet to keep them from crossing unsafe structures. So before these elephants even crossed the bridge, they tested it out with their trunk or their foot, and they distributed all their weight into that to see if it was safe. So that would be like me pressing my hand down, and if I press really hard, all my weight is going to distribute through my hand. It's almost like standing on one foot as well, where if you stand on one foot, all your weight shifts into that foot. So the elephants were safe. Remember, this is a real event that happened. And also remember, this is a 4.3, so you can take an AR test on it. Your job today is to fill out the cause and effect chart for this story, as there are a lot of cause and effects in this story as well. Have fun, guys!